What's up, you guys? I wanted to talk a little bit more about diet because I was getting really into it, but my video was like already like 12 minutes long and I was like, no one wants to listen to me ramble. So I'll just do two videos. So you can refer to the first one. You're dealing with snacks right up there or wherever the fucking link pops up. And I'm talking today more about like the holistic side of like eating better and why it's important for people with mental illness, especially for people with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder and other severe forms of mental illness, which also include depression. There is severe depression. Again, I said in the last video, I am not the healthiest person. I really am not. I am trying my best. I've gotten a lot better this past year in terms of, exercising, trying to run regularly, at least getting some cardio in. My Apple Watch actually helps that a lot. No, like that's not an ad for Apple. I just really enjoy it and it makes me like want to like go out and exercise and close those rings, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so beyond like eating like healthy in terms of like snackage, I've gotten really good at like snacking. I'm always good at snacking. I've gotten really good at like eating healthy when it comes to snacks. And when I say eating healthy is that like I exclude artificial colors, artificial like flavors, artificial all of that. I try to like limit the sugar intake I'm taking, freeze-dried fruit, just getting like natural sugars, all of that jazz. Not to say that what I'm eating during my snackage is good for me necessarily, but it's not like eating Snickers and like Airheads and like Kit Kats, all the stuff that I used to eat a lot and loved. I think a big thing is that what I didn't even realize is that people with bipolar disorder and people with mental illness in general are more susceptible to those cravings. They crave snacks and like sugars and like junk food and like all those things that like taste amazing but like actually kill our bodies. Yeah, we're more susceptible to that. And that's like kind of like why I think I've been at a point where like last year I say Airheads, and then all my friends like who are close to me in North Carolina when I was living there know this, that I literally ate these Airhead Sourfuls all the time. I got like 3 or 4 packs from the gas station at one time, and I'd come back and eat them, and then I'd get some more. I would just go on like these binges, and it wasn't like I ate unhealthy all the time. It wasn't like 24/7, but I will binge, and I'll like binge on unhealthy foods. And I still kind of do that to a degree, but I do it a lot less now. And I feel like, what am I saying? I still do it. Like I'll buy the winter holiday Sprite, the cranberry spiced Sprite, that I can finish like in 48 hours, which is why I don't buy it anymore, but it's so good. I was gonna say try it, but maybe y'all shouldn't. So like, why is that exactly? Well, from my research, I've basically understood it is that low serotonin, essentially, which is like the happy chemical. The serotonin is the stuff that like makes you get motivation and makes you want to do things and gives you pleasure. And that's something that you like, you just don't have when you're depressed or when you're in a depressive episode. Yeah, so that stuff, serotonin, makes you want cravings. It basically, when you have low serotonin, you crave sugary things, you crave junk food, you crave all of these things because they're high in like carbs and they're high in sugar, high in glucose. And that's sort of what your brain needs for fuel. Now that seems kind of weird because you're like, well, can't I just like eat other things that have like healthy glucose and healthy carbs in it? And it's like, yeah, you can, and that's probably what you should be doing. But it's sort of like a subconscious thing. Like that craving is like because our brain's like, oh, that Sprite or that Pepsi you had with that like McDonald's burger and that large fry, that was a lot of sugar, that was a lot of carbs. Like this is like let's get going, and you like fuel your brain for like a hot minute and then it just burns out, which is typically like why that food gives us comfort. Like we feel good eating it. But because there's simple carbohydrates and like simple sugars and all that, your brain burns through it so quickly that, it needs more fuel at the end of the day. So you either keep having those cravings and keep eating that food and feeling like shit, or you don't and your brain doesn't have that fuel and you don't have the serotonin, and then it just leads to a host of other problems like depression and all that stuff, and it's not great. So essentially, when you're eating junk food and all that stuff, like those like effects on the brain, they're like fast, they happen quickly, they happen abruptly, and like you basically are like a car without gas. Like you're a car that's like filling up like 1 gallon each time, and then like going 0 to 60, and then that's it, and then filling up again, and then 0 to 60, which is why you might feel like this, especially if you're bipolar. It's because you're eating like shit, and like your mood is like already fucked because your brain is like chemicals are already out of whack. But you're also messing with like it even more. Your brain's not able to produce those chemicals, serotonin and other neurotransmitters. Your brain's not able to produce those to even counteract the bipolar disorder, you know what I'm saying. You're not producing those things to counteract it in the first place. So now that you're eating like shit, like it's only hurting your brain even further. I would say that eating is not like a remedy necessarily for fixing any of these mental illnesses. Stay on your medicine, go to your doctors, all of that, but it does significantly improve it. I think I made a video earlier that talked about like how I'm on lithium medication, and lithium does not like fix you whatsoever by itself. It includes a regimen in terms of recovery. So it's lithium for me, it's eating healthy, it's exercise, it's all these things together lead to you being like, okay, I see life is great, I can do this is awesome. But it's not as easy as that. Like I understand it's super hard because like I'm still struggling with it, and it's been like a year, 2 years for being like honest, before the bipolar disorder, like actually more like a decade if we're talking about non-bipolar disorder and all that stuff. Doesn't matter. So what are some things that you can do in terms of helping your health? Now, I talked about a lot about eating healthy snacks, but that's still snacking at the end of the day, which is not what you need. You need complex carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates burn slow and really help to fuel your brain like consistently, and not have like a stop and go mentality or a stop and go. Yeah, your brain's not stop and go. So it helps burn slow rather than fast, and really gives your brain the energy it needs to continuing going and continuing pushing your life forward, and continuing, giving you that energy to live, because that's important. A big thing that you can do for that is eat omega-3 acids, which is basically fish oil. Fish is amazing for you. The top I would say is salmon, tuna, trout. All of those are great. Sardines are also really good to help. Essentially, omega-3s are really good for the nervous system, and really good at making those like neurotransmitters efficiently like go across, like, I'm really bad at science, you guys, but go across like the synapses. Like it helps move those neurotransmitters along. So things like serotonin, it really helps those, like, all right, we're producing it, we're sliding it down the slide, we're getting those out to the rest of the body, and we're doing it well. For whatever reason, those fish oil helps that tremendously. And that's sort of what makes you happy. Your body can't make omega-3s by itself, which is really important why you should eat fish or take an omega-3 supplement. Now, I do both. I love salmon. It's my favorite dish. I should probably get some salmon tonight. Great idea for dinner. But your body can't make that on itself. So sometimes I take supplements as well, like omega-3 supplements, which are kind of gross because they're these big ass like fish oil pills. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Otherwise you'll be like depressed and shit. They have found that like there's certain chemicals such as within them called EPA and DHA, I believe that's right. And they essentially act as active antidepressants. So there's sort of like, researchers at least believe that those are like the natural antidepressants within the brain, within the body. That's like how we naturally fight against like depression without like medicine. Now I'm not saying you don't need medicine, just take fish oil, no. But I'm saying it sort of helps your body along fight naturally instead of using like medicine. Because if you're using medicine, yes, like it might, like a SSRI might like, give you more serotonin or help you produce it more, blah, blah, blah. But like you're not really helping yourself at all if you're still not like taking the necessary steps to produce the natural fighters in your body. I can't think of the other word, but the ones that are there like fighting, I always picture in my mind like a little army in my brain, like fighting against these mental illnesses, like, we can do it. And on the days when I'm super depressed, they're all like, oh, we can't do it. So like, you don't want to like, you want to like keep your army up here like super strong. Like you want to make sure that they're good, and if they need some reinforcements, that's when the medicine comes in. But like reinforcements will get there, and if your army's all like, laid out dead, and then it's like, what are you really doing? Beyond omega-3s, again, I said carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, so that means things that aren't simple sugars, and simple sugars typically are like junk food, fast food, candy, all of the things, honestly, all of the things that we love are like bad for you. But you can find those things, if you go shopping, you can typically find, I was gonna say like your store's name, but like Whole Foods is great, but Whole Foods is kind of expensive. Amazon has a great things, but like they kind of have like slaves now in the warehouses, so like you can't go there. Trader Joe's is good. I haven't heard anything bad about Trader Joe's. They're a little bit up there, and they're not really in a lot of impoverished neighborhoods. But Aldi also has a whole bunch of organic foods that you can go to. Honestly, just Google organic foods near you. There might even be like a local shop that you can go to. Those places are all great in order to get like things that you still love that might not taste the same, but don't have like a shit ton of sugar in them. Some examples of some good foods to eat are not only fish that have the omega-3s that produce the natural like army fighters up here. I'll get that analogy. And then like other things you can eat are turkey, beans, nuts such as almonds, cashews, and peanuts. Those are all fantastic. You can also eat dark chocolate. Believe it or not, dark chocolate is actually good for you. Flaxseed, I believe, is also good for you, but they're so small you can just like sprinkle them on top of like your cereal, and that will work. Yeah, there's a lot more things. You can honestly, if you want to know more, just DM me or comment below. Again, this video was really just meant to say that like, you know, there's so much that goes into bipolar recovery and recovery from any mental illness. Recovering from any illness. And half the battle, yes, is like going to your doctors and, you know, going to a psychiatrist, getting on that medicine, doing all of that, opening up. That's half the battle. But half the other battle, and it sucks so much, is really just like looking inward on yourself and being like, what changes can I make? And that's eating better, exercising better, and really, really pushing yourself. And it's hard. It's hard. I have not mastered. I had like, on my last video, I had all my healthy snacks out and I was showing y'all what they are. I'm talking about this. I understand all of this. And yet, like, I still have those cravings. Like, I still crave junk food and I still crave sugars and I eat them all. Like, if I were to eat, let's say for the next day is Thursday. If I were to eat Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just like kind of like shitty. So let's just say that's a vacation. That's a long weekend vacation. If I go on vacation, which I do, and if I eat, which I do, all of those things are terrible for me. And I end up feeling those things later on in life. So I feel, once I've eaten bad those 4 days, I feel bad Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which is not great. Combine that with, you know, typically going on vacation, you also drink on the weekend, or I say vacation or on the weekend, either or. You're drinking, you're not eating well, you're not really sleeping because you're going out, you're out, if it's cold, you know, you're out in the cold. All of these things lead to not only you possibly being like physically sick, but also like your mood, your gut health, the way you're fueling your brain is just like, it's done. That's typically like why if you're older, if you do like go out and stuff like that, like your body is just like you're in the hospital. And you're younger, you're able to rebound quickly. Unfortunately, even if you're younger and you have something like bipolar disorder or schizophrenia, that doesn't work like that. And you know, I've tried that. I still do it. Like, you know, I'm not living like a hermit under a rock. I mean, I still definitely do it, but you have to plan that out. So like, for example, I know Christmas is like a big time of the year when all this would happen. I just try to measure that out and make sure that like I'm not doing it like during the week. Everyone's been asking me to like do these things. I'm like, I shouldn't be drinking. I shouldn't be going out to eat these places. I went grocery shopping. I'm reserving that for the weekend because I know I want to do this on the weekend, but I can't be doing this 24/7. Otherwise, I will definitely roll into January with a depressive episode, and that's not good. All right, y'all, I have rambled enough. I hope you found this video helpful, informative, and if you did, please like, share, and comment your thoughts. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to comment as well, and subscribe to find out when new videos will be coming because you can get that notification. If you're subscribed, make sure you turn on notifications so you know, and I will catch y'all later.